And welcome everybody, Redish Pink here, and today I'm going to be going over my loadouts and how I create them and what I specifically care about. Now, I'm going to say this, I am a hyper-aggressive player, I don't depend on anybody else, and I assume that I have to go and carry. I'm not trying to be an asshole, I'm just being realistic, and if you have this mindset, it'll make the gameplay a lot easier and it'll help with your loadouts and creating them. We're going to go into loadouts. Now, your factions, you have Insurgents and Security, you have different times for day and night operations, and you have different game types. This is specifically for the Insurgents and Security, day and night operations, but the game type is only for co-op. Now, I'm not going to go over every single one of the classes and its descriptions. I'm going to go and tell you how many of these you can have in one lobby for checkpoint or for outpost. You can have one commander, two observers, one gunner, one marksman, one demolitions, two advisors, two breachers, an infinite number of riflemen in one lobby. We're going to start off with Insurgents, day operations, and co-op. We're going to jump into riflemen, and I'm going to go over what I care about most for my play style. Accessory, gas mask. Gas masks are not essential, but they're highly recommended. Also, as Insurgents, they're free. They're not going to slow you down. They're not going to hinder anything. You might as well pick it up because it helps with smoke. It helps with gas. So just get it. I always have it on my class. For armor, I skip. Ammo carrier, I always go with the heavy carrier. The reason why is, again, I don't depend on anybody else. I assume I'm going to have to carry, and therefore I'm going to need as much ammo as possible to get the most amount of kills as well. It doesn't matter if it's a shotgun or sniper rifle or I'm using handguns, I will always roll with a heavy ammo carrier. From here, explosives. No matter what, I always roll with a minimum of one Molotov, unless I'm using a demolitions class. The reason why I use Molotovs over incendiary is because incendiaries, you can bounce them off walls, you can bounce them off roofs and stuff like that, but they move. Whereas a Molotov, when they break, they will stay in that spot no matter what. I can use that to destroy caches, I can use that to block off an avenue of approach and now force the AI to come to a certain point of entry. I will always have a Molotov in my class. Now, I don't really care about secondaries, but my primaries, I will go and show a realistic loadout that I use. I don't use the FAMAS, it's way too expensive and the gun itself is pretty awful. So I'm going to go with the second highest option and one that I roll with, that is the M4A1. Now, this is what I always roll with. I'm not going to go into detail about the guns or attachments themselves, except for one attachment, and that is going to the underbarrel, scrolling all the way down, and picking up the point shooting grip. When aiming down sights, it projects a red laser beam and locks the weapon's aim to the center of your view for easier shooting in close quarters. This allows a good POV and FOV, and it helps because I can go from long and medium range fights to instantly being able to switch to a close quarter environment and being able to stack bodies from there in just a press of a button, which on PC is G. Now, I always get asked about this. You will always see this on every single one of my gun, unless I'm just trying to mess around or anything, or it's not available. But 100% of the time you will find this attachment, this grip, on my weapons. This is only available in co-op. You won't find this in versus. It's only available on co-op. Now, from here, we have 6 tokens. I personally don't care about my secondary weapon most of the time. I mostly care about my primary. Next, what I go after is my magazine size. Not all weapons will have a drum magazine, but they will have an extended magazine, so you can either switch between this or the drum magazine if it's available. Again, I play hyper aggressive and only depend on myself, so if it's available, I will roll with a drum magazine whenever it's up. For the barrel, doesn't really matter what I choose or what you want to choose. 99% of the time I have a flash hider unless the gun is really cheap. Then I'll roll with a compensator for that recoil control, and I'll slap on a suppressor because it's cool. But I will have my flash hider and then optics. Most of the time I roll with a holograph just because it's cleaner, and also it's really good for an optic. Now, for your secondary, you can either roll with a Makarov or a Browning. That's what I roll with. You can go with, for example, since I have one token left, you can go with the Makarov and extended magazine. But I don't really care for the Makarov, and if you look at it, even with the extended mag, it's only 12 in the mag. So I just go with the Browning, costs 1 token, and then you get an extra bullet anyways, and also it's 9x19, so awesome. So this is just the basic loadout that I would go out with. Most of my loadouts are going to look like that. So if you go to my ACAM, for example, that's all it is. Same exact thing. Now we're going to switch to night. So let's go to night. We'll go to rifleman. This is what you can expect on my classes. I go with the military MVGs just because it's a lot cleaner on the eyes, and also from a recording standpoint as well. Green looks okay. White phosphorus, in my opinion, is extremely bright, and it's a strain on the eyes, so I don't roll with white phosphorus. I really go with amber just because it's very subtle on the eyes, and it just looks good overall. So you'll find that on my loadouts. Ammo carrier, again, heavy. 1 Molotov. And then let's go with the M4, which is expensive. We'll go with point shooting grip. And now I only have 3 tokens. So from here, depending on my team now, I'll either go with a drum mag, or I'll go with an extended mag, 1 flash hider, and then I'll come to a secondary and use a Browning. A lot of this comes down to preference and also depending on my team. But this is what most of my loadouts look like. Let's go to security. Without changing it, we'll keep it on night. Accessory, I go with the soft MVGs, and since I'm spoiled, I like to go with multicolor. Depending on how expensive my gun is, I'll usually roll with a multicolor, but if my gun is really expensive, then I'll go and put it on amber, and it only costs me 3 tokens. But in this case, let's just go with the multicolor, and we'll go with a medium expensive gun. Ammo carrier, heavy. Explosive, Molotov. Primary, let's go with, let's say, a QTS-11. So magazine, it's only extended. You know what, we'll switch it. We'll go with the QBZ-03. We'll do a drum mag, and again, I'm going to my point shooting grip. And this is the loadout I would go with. I wouldn't really care about a flash hider. I wouldn't really care about the optics because I'm just going to be using the point shooting grip and the canted laser sight itself. And that's pretty much it. Go with Makarov, and that's the class I would roll with. But I don't really go with expensive guns like that. I'd go with like the QBZ-97, drum magazine, point shooting grip, and then I'll go with the flash hider. Now let's go to day. Rifleman, accessory, gas mask, ammo carrier, heavy, 1 Molotov, primary. Let's bring it down to, let's say, the QBZ now. Drum mag, point shooting grip. I have 3 tokens left. You can go with the compensator if you want, or a suppressor. Me personally, I'll go with the flash hider, hollow, come over to my secondary, and I'll go with the Browning. And that's the loadout I would roll with. I don't really care about armor. It makes you heavy. It doesn't really protect you from anything. Most of the time, if you get hit from an explosion, you're gonna die. And then armor itself, with the light one, it stops small arms fire, but only by like 1 or 2 bullets. And usually the insurgents or whoever you're going against isn't rolling with the pistols, so I just take armor off. It makes things a lot easier and stuff, and it just feels more realistic in my opinion. But this is the loadout I would go with, and this is what my loadouts just look like in general. So that is a quick and overall demonstration of what I go after and what I'm looking for on my loadouts, specifically tailored for me. Obviously, depending on what you want to do, you can go and change it, and I highly recommend you do. But me personally, this is what I look for and what I'm going after. If this helps you a lot, go and give the video a like. subscribe for even more. Also, if there's things that you guys do want to see and me to go and talk about, let me know in a comment below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go and give the video a like, subscribe if you're new, join my Discord. As always, go forth, be good, and do good. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys.
My heart is marching.